everyone. This is a great time today to raise our Irish flag in celebration. And I want to say thank you again to Consul General Grant for not only being here, but being part of the great celebration we have between San Francisco and Ireland. I obviously am thrilled to have a Cork sister city. And of course, still remember the glorious time I had being the Grand Marshal in St. Patrick's Day in the city of Cork. That's where I met the Coder Dojos and a lot of other just wonderful people. I want to again say thank you to Mark Farrell for his leadership as well and being the rock on our Board of Supervisors. So with that, are we ready to raise the flag?
Hey, one of you pull and one of you. Beautiful. What a day, huh?
You do it with such elegance.
That's my fisherman's style there.
Thank you, Constance.
Okay, now we're going to be led out to the... Okay, top of the morning to you. You're going to say it back to me? Good morning. I see all these wonderful faces out here that bring back great memories. And a lot of them we're going to tell you about, and there's some we're not going to tell you. Is that right? Because, 200 Irish Americans went on our first trip to Ireland. That was a sister city, 31 years ago? Let's hear it for Cork. Well, you know, Irish have been making history here in San Francisco for many, many years. The first Irish Americans, Irish that came here, was in the late 17th century, early 18th century. They came here. They came here and bought land from the Mexican Grant. They came here during the potato famine. They came here for the gold rush. And you know what? They left their stamp and are still doing that. Because if you go around San Francisco, what kind of streets do you see? Kearny, Geary, O'Shaughnessy, O'Farrell, Hayes, right? So you've been making history all of these years, the O'Shaughnessy Dam. And through the years, you can look around at all the, we had a lot of mayors that were Irish. The first mayor was John Geary, Irish. And you know what? Our mayor right now is still making history every day. And our mayor, was in Cork and was the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Cork. And I don't know how many other people have a river named after them in Ireland, but there is the Lee River. Yes. So may I present our mayor, Ed O'Lee.
Oh, Charlotte, thank you very much. And again, thank you for being the best protocol officer for the city and county of San Francisco. Yes. Well, everyone, thank you and welcome to our People's Palace, the city and county of San Francisco, our own city hall. And I want to just say a warm welcome to all of you. We just raised our Irish flag right out there a moment ago, proudly. And I want to just give a personal thanks to our Consul General from Ireland, Philip Grant. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything that you do to strengthen the economic, the people ties between our city and, of course, the country of Ireland. And today we also join the United Irish Societies of San Francisco in kicking off the city's St. Patrick's Day celebrations. Do you know this is the 164th anniversary of our celebration? What a wonderful, wonderful time. And I want to say thank you again to Liam Frost, United Irish Societies. Thank you for being here. Thank you for you, and certainly a thank you to Kevin Birmingham, the past president of the societies, for carrying on this legacy. Yes, all right. And then we are also, as Charlotte said, we're celebrating our Cork Sister City, the 31st anniversary of that Cork Sister City celebration. So the names of Jim Herlihy, John Moylan, Dermot Philpott, again, from our Sister City Committee, thank you very much for your wonderful historic work. And as Charlotte said earlier, I really enjoyed myself on that trip. That's one of the most memorable trips anyone can take because the celebration of our city in the city of Cork has a special relationship. And I, of course, continue to ask the Board of Supervisors through Mark, why can't I be the Lord Mayor of San Francisco? And then, of course, being the Grand Marshal in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Cork was just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And it was then that we asked to reignite ourselves with Ireland in a very special way. And we came back, and shortly thereafter, our request was granted. Aer Lingus granted us with another direct flight between Dublin and San Francisco. That was just another great accomplishment. And there at the time, I met the youth of Ireland through their Coda Dojo program at that Magic Castle. And we finally found the way to ask them to come over. And we had a week of celebration when the kids came over and the Vice Mayor of Cork came over as well for an entire week to interact with us and find not only education but innovation as the spirit of our people-to-people relationship. That was a wonderful time that we had. I want to say again, thank you. A lot of things, wonderful things happen when we exchange these wonderful exchanges. So I just want to make sure that you know I have another intent to get back to Cork, especially to that Old Head golf course. You know, when I listen to these bagpipes, Mark and I will reminisce because he'll continue to brag that he can go out to a golf course and I can't locally. Similar with Dennis Herrera as well, and Mel Murphy as well. They get to play more golf than I do, and one of these days we'll be able to match that up. You know, also, I have, on a weekly basis, an opportunity to go to these wonderful companies that we have in the city of San Francisco. And most recently, this past year, our assessor recorder, Carmen Chu, has been there with me to go to a lot of these companies to find out what's happening in the talent and the resources that this city has with international companies. And this St. Patrick's Day, we have the intent to visit with our Consul General Grant one of the Irish-owned companies, PCH, that will be doing their custom manufacturers, and we get to visit them very shortly together. And I know they have a slogan that says, if it can be imagined, then it can be made. Well, that's the spirit of Ireland, spirit of Irish people who've been with us for many, many years, creating things here in San Francisco. Now we have an Irish company with that slogan, and we're going to have on St. Patrick's Day an opportunity to visit that very company and support their efforts to grow, to exchange, to be an international company as well. Well, these are just a few examples of the wonderful outcomes of having strong exchanges, a strong partnership with the people of Ireland here in San Francisco. I'm looking forward to the parade on March 14th as a prime example of our city's admiration for our rich Irish history. And without further ado, I would like to call up our Consul General and to call up Liam Frost of our United Irish Societies and declare March 6th to the 17th of this year's Irish American Heritage Week in San Francisco.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.
You get in the middle.
All right. So I've talked a lot about the city's success, but you got to have good partners in order to make the city successful. And on our Board of Supervisors, I must say to you that a very special prize that I get to have is a partnership with Mark Farrell. He's been a great leader for our city, obviously a wonderful supervisor from his district, but I know him more and more as an entire city leader. And so I want to welcome him in the most appropriate way, and that is with my pronunciation. Hopefully I don't screw this up. Banakti Nafaila Parig, which of course is my Irish to welcome Mark Farrell up here with a greeting of St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor Lee.
Now you say it. What he said.
No way.
No way.
Thanks, Mayor Lee. And everyone, welcome to City Hall. I will tell you, it is once a year we see a sea of green like we do today. But I want to welcome you. And isn't Charlotte Schultz always the best dressed woman in San Francisco? Proud to be here today with Mayor Lee, with all of you to kick off what is high season for our Irish community, not only here in San Francisco, but around the world. As our Consul General told me, his duties kick in early February, actually, and don't end until April. But for the rest of us, this is the beginning of our festive season that kicks off today with the flag raising, goes on with our parade next week, and really celebrates our Irish culture here in San Francisco. And I want to thank all of our Irish community leaders. I see Father Brennan right in front of me, and so many commissioners, elected officials here as well. I want to thank my family, my mom and dad, my wife, my 2-year-old son, who's the guy in green saying, "Hi, Daddy," all the time. Hey, buddy. There you go. But thank you all for being here today, and thank you for being such a proud part of our Irish community, a community that is rooted in the history of San Francisco, that has been here since the mid-17th century, that has played such an important role. As Mrs. Schultz mentioned, our first mayor, and so many other Irish leaders, culminating with our streets like Hayes, like O'Farrell. I'm a little bit biased. But so many Irish leaders that are here today that make San Francisco who we are. So thank you all for being here. I have a great pleasure of introducing someone who is not only an important part of the Irish government now in the Western United States, but someone that I consider a friend, someone who's been with the Irish Foreign Service since 1992, spent the prior 4 years back at the Home Office in Dublin, and was appointed in 2013 as a Consul General for the Western United States. And that's our Consul General, Philip Grant.
The microphones keep having to get higher. I also have a street, Grant. May not originally have been Irish, but as we all know, the Irish are also a little bit of all of the races, especially in these modern times. Mr. Mayor, Mark, the Board of Supervisors, Commissioners, the 3 chiefs that I see, and there may be others. It's wonderful to see so many of you here. It really warms my heart to see it. And it's an amazing honor for me to stand here. Last year was the first opportunity that I had, and I was new, and I didn't know too many of you. And as I said at the Irish Cultural Centre for the Grand Marshal's Ball, now too many of you know who I am, but that's the way it should be, and it's a great honor for me to stand here. And to use this opportunity to thank the Mayor, and for the purposes of this week, St. Patrick's Day and all of that, we got a special dispensation from Cork, and they're lending you the Lordship. So for the duration of the week, we're going to call you Lord Mayor Lee. So it's a great honor to do that. The past year has been a year of tremendous success for the Irish economy after a very difficult period. And one of the reasons why we're able to do so well is because the economy out here in the Bay Area is doing so well. I don't think there are any other countries in the world which perhaps have the economic ties and connections to the West Coast that Ireland does today. We've always had traditionally strong links, but over the last 7 or 8 years, particularly with the rise of the new breed of online computer companies, software companies, the likes of Google and Facebook. Our agencies here, the IDA, which helps us win foreign direct investment, and also Enterprise Ireland, which helps Irish companies expand here in the Bay Area, have had a record year. So I'd like to give them a big round of applause because they are really building and strengthening the economic growth of Ireland and of San Francisco. I'm also pleased to tell you that Aer Lingus are expanding the service and that from May we'll have a flight every day of the week, not just 5 days a week. And that's created over 120,000 new seats between Ireland and the West Coast, bringing tourists and business visitors in both directions. So it's an amazing strengthening relationship that we enjoy here. I'm very conscious standing here that I follow in a long line of Irish consuls. We've been here since 1933. I'm very conscious too that it's a year where we'll be celebrating the 40th anniversary of our cultural centre out in the avenues. And we're going to be working with them over the next few years to help them with a long-term strategic development plan to ensure that they're still going strong in another 40 years' time. A few weeks ago, my colleague Kevin and I did a little bit of volunteering work at St. Anthony's, which many of you might know helps the homeless here in San Francisco, and they just opened a new building just a couple of blocks away. And one of the things that struck me going into that building was where I looked for Irish faces, as you always do, they were the volunteers. They were the people who were generally helping or manning the stands, providing assistance. And when you looked around the room and you saw those who were being helped, perhaps there weren't so many faces that you might think of as Irish. But it certainly struck me that if I had stood in that space 50 years ago or 100 years ago, we would have been the people who were being helped. Because there are very few races and peoples that understand homelessness and poverty and need the way that the Irish do. And the Irish story in San Francisco is a great success story, but it's a hard-won success story. And one of the things which I was most pleased to see was the involvement of the Irish community with community groups like St. Anthony's, with the city, like the work that the United Irish Societies do with the old folks' homes and the seniors, the Irish Immigration and Pastoral Centre. Because if we compare what it means to be Irish and what Irish spirit is, 150 years from when we used to be a third of the population of San Francisco, what can we look around us and claim as ours and claim as our legacy here? And I hope it is that sense of compassion. I hope it is that sense of charity and generosity. And I hope that when we march, and I hope the weather is as nice as it is today on Saturday week, that one of the things that we'll be celebrating about our contribution to your great city is that sense of helping each other and that sense of community, because that's what keeps us all very, very strong. So gura míle mahagat, lo banach de féile live galéir, and all the best to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. And before I bring our next guest up, I want to make sure that we all give a special recognition to one of our elected officials here, someone who is a great friend of mine that I served with on the Board of Supervisors, has gone on to do bigger and better things as our assessor recorder, but someone importantly for this crowd was the supervisor that represented where the Irish Cultural Center is located for about 8 years, and that's our assessor recorder, Carmen Chu. So next up, I want to introduce two fellow native San Franciscans who are going to do the next certificates, Kevin Birmingham and Liam Frost. Kevin is not only a native, board member of the United Irish Societies, a board member of the San Francisco Association of Realtors, a great friend to the Irish community, and Liam Frost is our current president of the United Irish Societies. So please welcome up Kevin and Liam.
Thank you, Supervisor Farrell. Mayor Lee, Chief Protocol Officer Schultz, Honorable Philip Grant of the General Counsel's Office, Carmen Chu, and other Board of Supervisors, members that are in the audience, as well as our Bill Duggan, the honored guests, and my old boss, Greg Sir, Chief of Police, and my good friend, Chief Joanne Hayes White. It's an honor to be here today. for about the last 10 years, Dermot Philpott has been the man that's been up here. And it's quite a pair of shoes to try to fill. He was going to make it today, and for family issues, he wasn't able to. But he called me on the phone, and the whole time I was driving down here, he was coaching me, he was mentoring me, and he was reminding me on how to behave at the podium. And I also got my good friend Marty Halloran, who said to keep it short from the POA. This year we are getting a festival back, and a lot of the Irish community was pushing for that big time. And, it was a lot of work, and I would like to reach out and thank Mayor Lee and his staff with Greg Sir, Captain McGeckern, and Mark Moreno from Northern Station to get it to happen, as well as Ed Riskin from the SFMTA and his staff of Merrill Stein, and then with Park and Rec, Phil Ginsberg and Diane Ray. Seriously, being a novice at this and trying to get my way through it, the mayor's staff and the people that work for him are awesome, and I really want to say thank you to them. St. Patrick's Day is a day or a time of the year to celebrate being Irish. And there's nothing better than being able to celebrate anything. So I'm asking everybody in the Bay Area for the next 2 weeks to consider yourself Irish and come out and celebrate with us. So thank you. I appreciate your time, and thanks for coming. I'd like to now introduce Kevin Birmingham, who will be presenting the mayor with a gift.
Mayor Lee, we know this is the year of the goat, and that's a year that we don't want to take any chances. So we wanted to make sure to bring you some Luck of the Irish, a bottle of Irish whiskey for you to open up when you get reelected this November. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, now I'd like our Grand Marshal this year, Bill Duggan, to come up with his family, as well as the families of our honorary Grand Marshals, Patrick Joyce, Christy McGuire, and Eugene McPeak. It's pretty bad when you forget your in-laws' names. So please come up to the podium. It is quite an honor for somebody to be named the Grand Marshal or honorary Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade and the festivities. But at the same time, it's a lot of work, and I do want to thank these families for agreeing to take part in this and do the work. So thank you. And here's our Grand Marshal, Bill Duggan. And then the family of Patrick Joyce. And my brother-in-laws, they're my entourage. They protect me. The family of Christy McGuire. Thank you, man. Sit down. And now the family of Eugene McPeak. Oh, there you go.
Thank you, Mayor. Is that my paycheck?
Thanks again for everybody for coming, and for the next 2 weeks, we're all Irish. Thank you.
All right. We're about time for the main festivities here, but I want to recognize real quick another extremely great friend to our Irish community and always the tallest man in City Hall, my colleague, Supervisor Scott Wiener, who's here. So we have a special treat again this year, a tradition now inside of City Hall. The Whelan Kennelly Academy and Murphy School of Irish Dancing will be dancing the traditional Irish dances here. longtime friends have been here. Thank you for coming. These are an incredible institution, not only in the Bay Area, but now with inside of City Hall. So please welcome our dancers today. All right, how about another big round of applause for our dancers there? So with that, we'd like to bring up both the Whelan Kennelly Academy and the Murphy School of Irish Dancers up here to get their certificates of honor. We got to honor the pipers. Here. I know, right?
Do me a favor, I forgot to tell that this is going to be televised on ABC.
What's going to be televised?
Parade.
Okay.
Parade. ABC televised.
Okay.
Wait, is that the first time? First time in a really long time. Wow.
All right, and lastly, I was told to make sure we let everyone know that for the first time in a long time, we are going to have our St. Patrick's Day Parade televised this year on ABC Channel 7. So those of you who are not there, I expect everyone to be there, but you can tape it at home. So know that. And then also want to give a last certificate of honor to a group that comes here every year and does such an amazing job, and that's the Irish Pipers Band of San Francisco. Where are they? All right, everyone. Well, thank you again for coming today. Have a wonderful month of March. And I have the honor for now the third year in a row of continuing a tradition that was started by my former colleague, Supervisor Sean Ellsburn, to have a little post-flag raising celebration in my office. So down the hall, room 279. For those of you who do come, cancel all of your afternoon appointments. The bar is open. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.